A busy day expected at the Renaissance Center in Detroit. The UAW National GM Council converging there to vote on a tentative agreement and to make a decision about the strike.
It's now been 32 days since nearly 50,000 workers walked out of GM facilities across the country. ABC 12's Elise Ramey joins us live now with an update of what we know and more of what to expect today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt, Christine. I'm here in the press room. It's kind of in the back of the room. It's very quiet, but it is definitely packed. I can tell you local, national, and international media all here in anticipation of this decision. A closed-door meeting began at 10:30 this morning. Some 200 local union leaders who make up the National Council are discussing and planning to vote on the tentative agreement. I'm told that meeting will last at least another half an hour. Now, if the National Council adopts it, the UAW says the details are then made available to its members. But we have started to see some of the agreement's contents in other places. Sources telling the Detroit News it includes a 3% raise in 2 of the years and a 4% lump sum bonuses in the other 2 years. But that leaves the question, do raises apply to temporary workers and in progression workers as well? And what about profit sharing? The deal also includes top-notch health insurance at little cost to workers. That's according to the Associated Press. The copay cap is expected to average about $700 per year for permanent employees. And there's also a path to full-time for temporary workers. We've talked to several people over the last several days who want that to happen. Now, temporary workers under this TA who have worked 3 years or more would be hired permanently. So there are lots of questions that still remain. If the TA is approved, do workers return now or wait for a ratified contract? I will tell you, I have talked to some of our local UAW presidents in mid-Michigan before going into the meeting. They're just as anxious as we are to see the full plan and hopeful that it's the right one. Now, we are expecting a press conference right after the closed-door meeting, so of course stay connected to ABC 12. I'll toss it back now to Matt and Christine live in Detroit. Elise Ramey, ABC 12 News.
While news of a deal came with great relief to many people in the picket line, not everyone is sold that the potential agreement is a good one. Those chants, us today, you tomorrow, are from about 30 people from UAW Local 1112 who drove up from Lordstown, Ohio.
They say in the tentative deal, one of its 3 plants would close, so they want to put the pressure on leaders to take a step back.
And if they don't get it together here while we out, we've been out a while. This ain't nothing, you know what I mean? We've been out a while. This is baloney to me. I don't need that. Our brothers and sisters don't need that. Even the temps, they got to work 3 years before they even be hired. Treated any kind of way. That ain't right. That ain't how they did us.
We want product back in Lordstown and every facility out here. GM is taking jobs into Mexico. We want those jobs brought back up here to keep us producing cars for the future.
Now, for now, until an update comes from leadership in Detroit, the picket lines across the nation continue.
That holds true for the strikers outside of mid-Michigan plants, too. ABC 12's Winnie Dorch is live in Flint this noon. And Winnie, how are they feeling there?
Well, Matt, the first word you can think of is relief, because every day this week they've been getting new information. I'm here with Ashley. She's been at the GM plant for 8 years. Now, I want to know how you're feeling. Would you rather remain on the picket line or go back to work?
So first and foremost, I actually want to start off and say thank you to our leadership from the UAW for putting forth, I think, a fair contract from what I can see from the highlights. But I do want to say that I believe most of us want to stay out here until the contract is actually ratified.
And I know we were talking about some details you just learned. What did you learn?
So at this point, we have a clear-cut path for temporary employees, which I think is important. That's changed greatly since the 2015 agreement. We also have an $11,000 signing bonus, which is it's awesome. That's all I can say. It will make up for what we've lost, with taxes included, because that's one of the things people don't calculate. We pay about 40% in taxes. But also, that being said, we also have 3% 3% wage increases and 4% lump sums, which I think are great. No change in health care. I'm a mother of 3 boys, so healthcare is like really important for me.
Wow.
So all of those in and of themselves are more than enough, I think, for our members to be in favor of this agreement.
Now, 32 days. Did you think the strike would even go on this long? Do you think it was actually worth it for the UAW to push it this far?
I actually think that it was great that we did it this way, because corporate greed is at an all-time high, and I hope that everyone takes notice of this, because when you have union power, when you have strength in numbers, it really does make a difference at the negotiating table. And so I believe that we had to make this fight, and I am grateful to the community because they supported us greatly, from providing everything from water to food to anything that we really needed or put a call out there for. So I'm grateful to the community because we support them also. So it's been hard and arduous, but at the end of the day, I think it was more than worth it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for speaking with us. I see that you're very positive. And again, picketers are still on the line waiting for that final vote to come in, and we still will be covering this story all week long, all weekend long. For now, live in Flint, Winnie Dorch, ABC 12 News.
And as Winnie just mentioned, you can continue to count on ABC 12 News for team coverage of the tentative agreement. And remember, if we're not on air giving you a live update, we've got you covered with all the information you need on our website, abc12.com.